This is hello everyone. So I thought I'd make a video on Commander's latest event. It is now just finished. So everything will be discussed. Will be based from this whole event that I did, which was pretty much from the start to end. Obviously, I had to sleep. I had to do human stuff. As much as I hate it. So what did I think of the event? I liked it. It was a fun event, but there were some complications. Mainly look at the forums, just so I can show you. There were them really small helicopters that spawned as last stand defenders in the command center buildings. It was how do I say, not very fun, to say the very least. I think this is actually, yeah. Yeah, you got event bases, all that. So what was really annoying is that they were immune to shock, so you can't just stun lock enemy units and that'd be it. And they were also resistant to burst, so tanks and anything with blast radius essentially was a no go. So you have to use area or sustain attacks. So anything that has a relatively low attack, or low attack high speed, or high attack low speed, and all that. So apparently the Tempest was a very good pick for this event. To counter those helicopters. Obviously the Tempests are relatively weak. They're not as tanky as modern anti-air units, but I believe they have an area attack, I think. The units that spawned into Hermits, I believe they were the Ultra Tanks Mark II, is what I'm going to call them. That were very resistant to damage, very tanky. They had a really high DPS output. It was pretty painful. How I countered it was just get your technicals, have at least one with a corrosion attack, and just micromanage and hope you don't get hit, because if you get hit, it's gonna hurt. Crickets, those were the helicopters. Very painful, I'd like to say. Very painful. And with apparently 500 range, yeah, they have a decent range. Even with units that would get a bonus range for air units, still pretty brutal. What I noticed worked was obviously micromanaging technicals, sentries for small groups of crickets, even at level 2 or level 3, whatever mine are at, it's sufficiently decent. So normally bases would have units like these, or you get allies if you destroy them. They eventually become newt or absolutely useless, like in one base where you have like 2 hailstorms. Oh wow, 2 regular hailstorms? Oh my. But yeah, so those are the labs, or yeah, that's pretty brutal stuff there. And yeah, so obviously this guy, credit to this guy, name tag, yeah, credit to this guy. He made this guide with a few other people, and yeah, so he's also giving ops to use. Obviously Scrooge. Well, I mean, look at it. It's a Phantom, so you get just a regular Phantom. Level 1, you can't control, it's automatic. It did help me a little bit. The Hand of Malachi, 30,000 medals if you really want to dump that much in. Deals with the Hermits in 2 shots. So obviously the Hermits have some resistance to like high powered shots, because a level 20 Juggernaut, it's not joking around. And the Operative slash Last Stand Operative slash Double Agent, which are both different ops, mind you, they're not one and the same. Last Stand Defenders will fight for you, which is pretty nice. And then, yeah, anti-personnel shells just means no Last Stand Defenders, period. So I have absolutely no idea what the yellow means. I think yellow means situational. Okay, so obviously, yeah. This because survivor bonus is all survivor units deal more damage the bigger their bloodlust. Is that a unit there? Over there. Obviously, bloodlust is more damage, which is really nice. So yeah, obviously, if you have Liberator in the army and you have Weaver, obviously it's gonna be good. Technicals, if you're moving them around, you've just got to be mobile about it though. Yeah, nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. That was a pain in the ass for me, really. Every time I would use the siege squadron, yeah, it wouldn't work. And the gunship, I don't have that. So caution. Oh, the sharpshooters have a hero lord. Oh, okay. I had no idea about that. Yes. So yeah, obviously, good usage if you have anti-vehicle tech. Okay. Obviously, sharpshooters have stealth ability, and I'd assume Malcolm just instantly gives his range boost or something. Disruptor, if you have the scramble tech, and I need to emphasize this, if you don't have the scramble tech, it's not gonna work. Hammers and Roland, that's interesting. I mean, Roland especially, I think he's a really tanky hero, as well as the regular hammers. They're a pretty tanky unit, and a Romero. I don't have him. So the Corpus trait is that units cap out damage. So yeah, that's pretty good. So a Dracon, that's interesting. I've noticed that a Dracon just doesn't work. I've noticed, just doesn't. Phalanx and Andrew, or we don't have the Andrew actual unit. The Phalanx, standard frontline armor for Corpus. The Cyclops, not the Cyclops. That's fine. We all make mistakes. And Polly. Nope. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna look into it eventually. So Polly gives scramble to enemy units. So obviously you can't shock your enemy. So the second best thing is to scramble it, because scrambling it would mean they can move. They just can't fire. So they're essentially neut in combat. And obviously, I think Polly increases strength of a Cyclops. I'm not so sure. Pretty sure. Don't see why she wouldn't. Spinks and Neil. I think Neil buffs Spinks. I'm not so sure. Okay, well that's dedicated anti-air, but Hades are pretty old. And Darkstorm. Yeah, I think we all saw that coming. Yeah, so next, my next, even though she's level 1, wasn't really that great. Like, really wasn't. I don't really know what the escort is. It's like a jetpack trooper. It's like the jump pack trooper from Command and Conquer. I'd assume. The Blackout. I don't have that in Spartans. No, they're surprisingly weak when actually used in combat. Like, they're surprisingly weak. Oh right, yeah, no, Sentinels. Their trait is that they're immune to debuffs. Ah, that's right. Huh. So I guess any armored unit is resistant to their Tesla Tower, which is actually nice. So apparently Bishop and Caretaker and Galen. I don't even know who Galen is. Um, yeah, so they're support units apparently. Sentries, yeah, they're pretty good units. Their thing, just independent of the Sentinel traits, is that sentries get a bonus in terms of damage resistance and damage bonus per sentry near each other. I don't know what that range is. I'd assume it's in a close proximity. Um, and yeah, it's yeah, sentries did pretty decent versus the crickets. Um, the Herald. Um, yeah, that was apparently that was a big thing that everyone told me to get. Didn't. Turns out the anti-air tech pretty powerful. The Juggernaut. Okay, no explanation needed. And the Prophet. Believe that's the latest one of the newest Shadow Ops units. I don't really know. So Vindicators and Sunder. Don't have many Vindicators or Sunder. Envoy and Martin. I don't know who Martin is. Um, Okay, and Audra. Um, I don't have her. So, and yeah, so, that's good. Rip. Um, yeah, so that's good. That's good. And yeah, so thank you, name tag, Edelweil, Hot Sausage, Dragon Sun, MX36, and Erwin Ramal. Excuse me for pronouncing your names wrong. For that. So yeah, that was that's pretty much this events units and all that. The bases though, they were all right. I had a god damn hell. My main issue was with the air only base. That was a pain because you would think that level 10 Spinks, like 5 of them, would be enough. Turns out, does not work. Does not work. But other than that, it seemed pretty fair in my opinion. It didn't get ridiculously out of control, and that new spec op that brings in a level 1 Phantom to assist. It did some work too. Did some work. If there's one thing that was an issue though, I had to say it. Their armor and two things really. The crickets and the hermits were an absolute pain. They were ridiculous. Like they were absurdly strong. Like not balanced strong, but screw you, go to hell strong. They were brutal. Like it was just insane. Like they were pretty painful to deal with. But other than that, no, events seemed pretty fair and balanced. The reward and the faction track, that was pretty decent. I like the reward. Then again, I'm coming back from 7 or 6 events of not playing. So maybe my opinion will sour a little bit. But overall, good event. The prizes were decent. I'd say nothing spectacular, but nothing terrible. I mean, it wasn't all bad, but I mean, you're selling commandos for 15,000. Why? Why? But yeah, no. It was a good event. I liked it. I'm hoping that they release a new one with better content. Because to be completely honest, yeah, it was good and all, but there was some flaws, obviously. Except for the mentioned crickets and hermits, just it was really hard to find direct counters because it just felt they were too diverse. Because without Polly, the only unit that can scramble, I believe, is the Disruptor. And let's be real, who got one? Who got him? Like, if you're doing a Survivor only plat for the buff, yeah, I can see that as like an anti-armor, anti-aircraft if you get that tech. But I mean, like, it's not that great as a unit. Otherwise, you have to spec it into Scramble to make it honestly useful. But yeah, it just seemed that even the counter units like say Technicals or Phalanx or Sentries still didn't seem enough to counter the enemy. I don't know why. It might have just been me, but it just felt that the enemies were too defensively strong, we'll say, because they didn't exactly have when you can get their range and snipe them off, or when you can hit and run without taking damage. Yeah, that's fine, but they took so much health to die. And considering the Hermits tanked a bloody level 20 jug shot, makes you think if they had adapted body armor on or something. But other than that, yeah, no, pretty good event. I like the layout as well, like the aesthetic of the command center and the labs, and that was all pretty cool. Um, if there's anything though that like I would like to see next event is workshop items for the legendary raptor. So I don't know how long it's been out, but I don't think there is a workshop stuff for them. Oh, if there is, I'm just not seeing it because I'm blind. But yeah, good event. Hope you guys enjoyed me ranting for checks OBS 17 minutes. I'll see you guys again next time.